Welcome back. This is Austin from Calling Our Shot, and today we're going to break down the NBA's biggest surprises and disappointments through a quarter of the NBA regular season. If you're new here, click that like and subscribe button down below. We're trying to grow out here, and we can't do it without you guys. But we're going to hop right into the disappointments first so we can end the video on a positive note. And I don't think there's a more disappointing team than the Washington Wizards. I mean, trust me, Bradley Beal's doing his thing, averaging 34 points per game, 25 points in every single game this year, which I believe is the longest streak since Michael Jordan did it back in the 90s. And he's doing his thing, but I'm not here to bash Bradley Beal. Everyone knows he's a bucket and he can get his whenever he wants. I'm more coming at Russell Westbrook and Scott Brooks. This team, for whatever reason, I know they've dealt with a lot of postponements and games missed with players, but Westbrook's looked terrible this year. I don't know if it's the fit or what's going on, but he just doesn't look there. He doesn't look engaged, and he's trying his best, but teams are leaving him wide open, and he can't make a single shot. Right now, I believe they're 3-9. They got a game tonight, and they just aren't looking good. They just, man, Denny Avdia, he looked all right when he got a chance, but when they play him, all he does is sit in the corner, which isn't his specialty. He's more of a create your own and create offense for other people, and they aren't letting him do that. Shame that Thomas Bryant's out for the year. Now they got to rely on Robin Lopez. Davis Bertans was looking good, but man, the Wizards are my biggest disappointment this year because I was a favor of them. Like, I thought they had a chance to make the postseason, and granted, they still can. We're only a quarter of the way through, and even not even for them because they've only played 12, 13 games. But they have not looked good thus far, and they're going to need to turn it around. I don't know if Bradley Beal needs to run the offense more. I really don't know, but I don't know what they're going to go about, but I do think they need to make some changes, whether that's trading for a big man to play some better defense, because right now they can't guard anyone. And like Bradley Beal said, they can't guard a parked car. And, like, come on, man. Like, that's unacceptable. But we're going to move on to the next team, and this one was also one that I had they were hard to project this season, and that would be the New Orleans Pelicans. And I'm going to put a lot of blame on Stan Van Gundy for their 5-10 start thus far. He is not playing reasonable lineups. He keeps starting Eric Bledsoe and Lonzo Ball. Not a great lineup to start. I mean, if you think about their starting lineup, right? They got Brandon Ingram. He's all right. He's an okay shooter, not a great spot-up shooter, whatever. Then you got Eric Bledsoe, never been known for shooting the ball well. Zion Williamson doesn't attempt threes, which I'm still unsure about. Ever since he started his career with the 4-for-4 from 3 in the fourth quarter, he really hasn't shot more than 4 threes the rest of his career. So don't know much about that. And then you got Lonzo Ball, never been known as a consistent shooter, although he's shooting it better this year. And then you got Steven Adams, who doesn't have much of an offensive game, just kind of a post hook here and there. There's no spacing out there. They can't get anything done, and that's why they're losing games. They're playing slow, and I don't know what they need to do. That's up to Stan Van Gundy, which is why I'm putting blame on him. But they need to, one, play faster, and they need to, two, either put Eric Bledsoe or Lonzo Ball off the bench. Like, they don't do well coexisting. Lonzo Ball in the front, in the fast break and running the offense, he's great. He's a great playmaker. I mean, he can't score as well as people had expected, but that's still a work in progress. They're not asking him to drop 20 points a game. They're asking him to give him 10 points, 10 assists, and he can't do that with Eric Bledsoe holding the ball and everyone going under screens on both of them. It just doesn't work. So put one of them off the bench, see how that goes. I saw they're considered trading for Kelly Oubre. Don't know if that'll help him out, but hey, whatever. I guess it will be for fun. And then, Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, that's an interesting duo. I'm not the biggest fan of Ingram, never have. I know he's talented. I just think he's going to stunt the growth of Zion because he takes so many shots away. I think Zion should be the focal point of the offense, and maybe at the end of crunch time when you need someone to shoot a basket, whether it's a jump shot or something like that, maybe Ingram, but Zion should be getting 20, 25 shots a game, not Brandon Ingram. And then the last couple disappointments, these are going to be a couple players. Jamal Murray, it's right on cue because he just got ejected last night for doing something to Tim Hardaway Jr., which I don't want to talk about on camera. Well, that sounds dirty, but but yeah, he just hasn't looked good. Spicy P, Pascal Siakam, not looking good, although he's missed a couple games. And then the biggest one, Ben Simmons, man. What is he doing? He had 2 good games over the weekend and at the end of last week, and we were thinking, maybe he's back to the Ben Simmons of old, dropping 15, 20 points a game. And then he comes out with Joel Embiid out with 12 points and 2 rebounds. That's unacceptable for a player that could be all NBA. People that are expecting him to take big strides, and it just doesn't look like he's improved since he got into the league, which is a shame. But I'm not willing to write him off just yet. He's still very talented, but he needs to get it together and become more consistent. It helped Joel Embiid's case. I forget they're 0-4 without Embiid in the lineup, and what, 12-0, 11-0 with him fully healthy. That's wild. Now we're going to go into a couple surprises, and I have to start with my New York Knicks. I'm wearing a Magic shirt, but I'm a big New York Knicks fan, and they've impressed me. Tom Thibodeau has this team playing great. And, they aren't the most talented team. There's no way to get around that. But Julius Randle's playing like an all-star. Whether or not he'll make the team, that's not up to me to decide. But he's playing like an all-star and really, showing that he's worth his contract. And I don't know if he's a part of the Knicks' future, as he only has, I think, a year or two left on his deal. But he's showed that he's got a good future in the NBA, and he's still super young. So I would not be opposed to the Knicks keeping him around. I don't know if he's worth the max that he would be asking for in free agency in the next year or two. But he's played very well, as has R.J. Barrett. He's taken a big leap from his freshman year, his rookie campaign. And he's scoring the basketball, and he's shooting the ball not that great. If he makes his first 2 threes, he doesn't attempt another one in the game, which is a little odd. But he's playmaking, he's rebounding, he's playing defense, scoring in transition, and he's just overall looking much better than he did all last year. He showed glimpses of this in his rookie year, but was never consistent enough to do it night in and night out like he is doing now. And then lastly, Emmanuel Quickley. Man, he's fun to watch, like a little Lou Williams off the bench. He does jump into defenders and get a bunch of free throws, but hey, he's providing a spark off the bench, which the Knicks have not had in who knows how long. So I'm excited to see where the Knicks team goes. They're 8-10 right now. I don't expect them to make the playoffs. That would be a big stretch, but they got the best defense in the league, points per game wise, and I'm very happy as a fan. Well, lastly, last team, and then I got a couple players, the Utah Jazz. Quinn Snyder, man, he just told them he took what the Houston Rockets have been doing and just said bombs away, and they've been knocking it down. Jordan Clarkson's playing well. Donovan Mitchell obviously has been killing it, and the whole team's clicking on all cylinders. They're on an 8-game win streak. They actually play the Knicks tonight, so we'll see how that game goes. But yeah, they've looked much better, and it will be interesting to see how this translates into the NBA playoffs as well as the rest of the year. I feel like the Jazz are always this sort of team that goes on runs, and then towards the end of the year they fiddle out and they just don't end up getting it done in the postseason. I hope that's different. I love Spida. I love Donovan Mitchell. Not the biggest fan of Conley and Rudy Gobert. I think they're a little overpaid for what they do. But they got Jingling Joe, Jordan Clarkson. He's fun to watch. And then you got Rolls-Royce O'Neal, who might be the worst NBA starter in the league. But don't tell him I said that. He might come after me. And then the last 2 players, which I really want to talk about, and that's Jaylen Brown and Jerami Grant. At the time of recording this, Jaylen Brown is averaging 27 points per game. The 6th most in the league. You hear that? The 6th most in the league. That's insane. I love Jaylen Brown, always have. Saw him in high school, where he went to my high school in Wheeler High School in Georgia near Atlanta. And man, he killed it there. And people kind of had questions for him. He turned the ball over at Cal in college, and man, he has grown year over year. And he's proving to be worth all the money they paid him this offseason and more. I know Jason Tatum's been out for the last couple games, actually probably the last almost month. And Jaylen Brown has been killing it. And like I said, he's averaging 27 points. He's been worth everything. The Celtics have a big key young duo in the league with Jaylen and Jason. We'll see how Kemba, Marcus Smart, and the rest of their bigs can work around that. But, Celtics have a bright future. No one's denying that. And then lastly, Jerami Grant. I think he has the most 20-point games out of any player in the NBA. He's averaging 24 points a game. And man, if you don't look at our NBA player props article, you're missing out. Jerami Grant's been making us a lot of money. You can check out that article posted every day that there's an NBA game at 8 a.m. in the morning Eastern time. You can see it there. We're 64-41 on the year. We're killing it, making some money. But those are just my biggest surprises and disappointments of the year thus far. We're only a quarter way through, so I'm sure some of these will change and I can be put on freezing cold takes. That's fine. But, I've liked what I've seen out of some teams, not liked what I saw out of others. Try to watch every game at least at some point. But that's going to be it for today's video. This has been Austin from Calling Our Shot. Please like and subscribe the video down below. And check us out on all social media at Calling Our Shot on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, we're out there. As well as our website, callingourshot.com. We tweet out our links everywhere. That's been it. It's been Austin, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.